Change your mind, change your money, change your life. I am Coach Rob Lee Simmons, the host of this podcast, and let me be your tour guide to greatness. If I was doing any better, I would be you. Welcome to the Greatness Academy podcast. I am here, and I'm super excited because I am here with Donnell Johns. He is the owner, founder, CEO of Veterans Growing America. Welcome to the show, my man. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. I feel like a triple threat when you said that. That was awesome.
Man, you are everything, man. And I really appreciate everything that you've done for the community so far. I just want to say that before we get started. Donnell has a revolutionary platform for veterans, and we're going to have a great conversation about it. So let me kind of get right into the business, because that's what my guests love for us to do. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your military background, and then let's transition on how you got started with VGA.
Oh man, so I've had a spectacular, dedicated, decorated, and amazing career in the United States Army. I served 26 years, and I actually served in two components: the active component and the reserve component in an active capacity.
Oh wow!
And so I joined back in 1990. That feels like yesterday, but when I say it, it's been a little over 30 years ago, right?
Oh man, you start doing some math.
Right. And so I joined as a private, and my first job that I did was a human resource professional. Back then it was called a 71 Lima. And my first assignment out of AIT was Desert Storm. And so I never even went to a unit. I went to my first assignment, which is Desert Storm. And then my first actual duty station was Fort Eustis, Virginia. And then shortly after that, we went to Somalia. And then shortly after that, I got stationed in Korea. And shortly after that, I was in the Denver Military Entrance Processing Station, where I got out of the United States Army and joined the Army National Guard and was a recruiter for the Army National Guard. And I served as a recruiter from 1999 to 2016. And it was absolutely amazing. I got to work my way all the way up to, so here's the cool part and the blessing of my service is I joined as a 71 Lima, which is a human resource professional in the AG profession. And I retired as the senior human resource professional in the United States Army. I was the first Army National Guard G1 Sergeant Major.
Oh, wow.
In Army National Guard history. And I also served as the recruiting and retention Sergeant Major of two states, wow. The Colorado National Guard and the DC National Guard. And that's where I found my love for people, and just knew that obviously the G1 is the people business, right?
For sure.
But real people business is recruiting and retention and making sure that you maintain and retain quality people. And that's what I loved. I really enjoyed recruiting. Most people say they hated recruiting. I say I loved it. I'm like, I get paid to talk about something I love.
Yeah. Can't beat that.
What a blessing. And so I retired in 2016 as the recruiting and retention Sergeant Major for the DC National Guard, Capitol Guardians. It was an amazing experience. We actually took them to not quite number one in the nation, but number two in the nation when it came to recruiting and retention strength. So there's a lot that we were able to accomplish in that 26 years time frame. But I had a fantastic time.
Yeah, so dope. So tell me a little bit about the thought process of growing a business. Well, first of all, tell me what Veterans Growing America is, and then tell me how you came with the idea to make it happen.
So really what Veterans Growing America is a community, a military community of entrepreneurs that are in business for themselves, but not by themselves. Mm-hmm. So that's what Veterans Growing America is. And when we talk about business, business comes in several different forms, but our goal is to come together as a business community to support each other and then sell products or services and make some money, through our passion, right? And so Veterans Growing America is an organization that spotlights our veterans, our military spouses, and our dependent, basically the military family, in a way that America's never seen before. And we do that through pop-up events and technology. So when I say pop-up events, we have a pop-up store, the first ever pop-up veteran pop-up store in the nation. I like these first, right? we're doing some things that America never seen before. And so through our store, America can, shop with us in a way that they've never shopped with us before. Have you ever heard somebody say, thank you for your service?
All the time.
I love it, but I can't eat that, right?
Yeah, you're right.
But through Veterans Growing America, they can thank us for our service by shopping with us.
Oh,
by
that's
supporting
amazing.
our passions, by supporting our purpose, by supporting the things that we love. And it helps us in so many different ways. And so that's what Veterans Growing America is all about, is really just building a community of veteran entrepreneurs, making sure that they are able to have the American dream by supporting their passion and their purpose and bringing them together.
So tell me a little bit about VGA's mission, and how do you accomplish that mission, and how can others listen, and how can they help accomplish that mission?
So our mission right now is to spotlight as many veteran and military spouses as possible. And what I mean by spotlight is really like what you're doing now with me. We're putting them on the stage in front of your customers, so America can buy them, right? Sure. And by the end of 2025, I want to be able to say that we helped over 10,000 veteran and military spouse families in their businesses. That's what we want to do by the end of 2025, is be able to help them in business and grow their business.
That's amazing. I believe, I think I really want to paint this picture for the listeners, but I really believe what you do is so innovative. So again, what you describe is a pop-up store for military veterans, where they can service or they can serve their customers in your storefront, right?
Absolutely.
And the more amazing part is not only having the storefront and platform, but you also do networking as well, in order to further their business and really building that community. How do you and your team have the time and energy to make these things happen?
It's funny that you say that, because when I say purpose and passion, when you have a purpose, you go after that with everything that you have, and you don't get tired, right? But you do, but at the same time, the work that you do actually is like a Tesla battery. The more that you drive it, the more it recharges itself.
Yeah.
And so I'm a high people person. And so the more that I'm around people, the better I get, the more charged that I get. And so when I see someone go, man, I love this, I'm like, if I'm tired, I'm up now. I'm like, man, this is amazing. And I love really just, taking care of people. And and my team does as well. And they are business owners. And so they get to play a role in here. Their business is a part of our business. And so we all get to grow together. And so I just have people do the things that they're passionate about, and that recharges them like a battery.
So let's talk about the events. So I guess I didn't get to that part, right? So you guys also in that same storefront host several events. Can you highlight some of the best events that you've had, and then what are some of the your favorite acts during those events?
Man, so the pop-up is my favorite out of all of it. And the reason why I say the pop-up is my favorite is because I get to see every last person's creativity. And then I get to see the reaction that America gets when they walk in the store.
Yeah.
And so the first thing that they do is they look at the window and they go, Veterans Growing America, what is this? And so other veterans will look at it and be like, let me check this out. And they think it's a recruiting center. And then they open the door and they like, oh man, this is nice. And then the next thing that they see is they see veterans behind a table that in a way that they've never seen them before. And then I see this light bulb come on and they start thinking about, maybe I could do this too.
Yeah.
And then they start shopping with them, and then they start hearing the stories behind those individuals that are making these products and services. And they get even more inspired and they want to, purchase from them, not only because it's a great product, but because they want to also support other veterans. And then I see America comes in that never supported veterans before and go, this is pretty cool. And they get to know these people and they see them as leaders, as heroes, as entrepreneurs, and as human beings. And so the pop-up is my favorite part of it. But the other stuff that we do, in fact, this Saturday, we're doing a comedy show, and we partner with Clean Comedy Connection to do a comedy show showcasing veteran entrepreneurs and veteran comedians. And through that comedy show is an outlet for these veterans to tell their story, which is healing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And it's not, people would think, veterans and cussing. There's no cussing that's going on. And people are telling clean comedy, family type comedy stuff. And it's hilarious. I'm going to tell you something cool that happened. So 2 comedy shows ago, a veteran comedian walked through our doors, and this guy's name is Tony Woods. And Tony Woods is, he is David Chappelle's mentor, and he's also one of the top comedians out there in the nation. And he is also a Navy veteran. Mm-hmm. And so when he walked through the door, I actually went to go see him a couple weeks before he came in. So I was like, that's Tony Woods. And the Sergeant Major in me, when I saw him, I was like, I'm about to put him to work.
Oh yeah.
He's getting on the stage.
Oh yeah.
He's getting on the stage. And so with no hesitation, he got on the stage and he told some amazing stories about when he served. I mean, that was actually by far one of the best times that I had, in the storefront, just watching this guy that I've seen on TV and seen on stage walk into my dream, right? That storefront is something that I thought of in my mind and is now in fruition. And this guy walks in here and graces the stage at Veterans Growing America. And so he basically opens his audience up to these comedians. Blew my mind.
I mean, that's amazing.
Blew my mind.
That's amazing. And I like try not to be on my soapbox, but that is really one of the things that I think really faith does for you. And you can have a picture of what you think your journey should be, and then God just does some amazing things and supersedes anything that you could have put your mind to. My favorite part is that, like, not only are y'all not done, it's so much more room for growth. That is, I love it, man. As soon as that the first day I seen the concept, just blew my mind. So, and I don't want to share my story right away. What I want is when someone walks through your storefront, what can they expect to see? What types of businesses can they expect to see?
So that's the cool part, is you can see almost any type of business. You can see anything from someone selling a t-shirt to someone selling wood carving products. I like to call them lotions and potions, but in addition to that, there's also services that, people can get. We had a roofer, vend with us. We had, several different organizations that, do life insurance or whatever a veteran comes up with and they sell, they have a platform and a venue to sell it at our store. And so we even had a person that does what you do, podcasts. He wrote a book about being a podcaster, and he was selling that book to show people how you can make money doing podcasts.
I see, he trying to get me down there, y'all. I'll probably be down there in the next couple of weeks. I'll be down there in the next couple of weeks. So, so let me ask you, along this journey, what are some of the challenges that you've seen or that you face in building this platform?
Wow. So mind you, I've never opened a store before in my life. Um, and just trying to figure that part out and make sure that you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was the hardest thing. We have a store right across the street from Barnes and Nobles, the Apple Store, and DSW. And so I got to make sure that when people walk through those doors, that they feel that same type of quality, to include the vendors that we put in there. And sometimes I want to make sure that we have, when people walk in there and they set up a table. I remember this one guy, he came in and his folding table was tore up.
He was trying. He was trying.
He didn't have no banner. He didn't have nothing. But what we did is we set him up and we made sure that he looks good, because his success is our success. And so we want to make sure that when everybody comes to Veterans Growing America, that they're seen at a certain level, because we have a standard. And so the hardest thing in the world was coming up with the store, opening up the store 7 days a week and making sure that we have the right products and services in there. That was tough, coming up with all of the paperwork, making sure that we had a register, all the stuff was loaded in there, teach people how to use it. That was tough.
Yeah.
But we're still learning,
Yeah. That's just like the transition of businesses is tough. But I think the fun part about that is the challenge and the ability to see challenges, face challenges, and conquer challenges. Often, I think that's one of the things that I enjoy most about being in business. When you see these veterans, some of them have established business, some of them are new to businesses. In those veterans that are new to business, how does your platform help them transition into entrepreneurship?
That is a great question. I'm glad you asked that question. So not only do we provide a space for them, but we also provide education. We partner with several different organizations to provide education. Not only do we sit down with them and go, okay, I know you're set up here, but how are you going to build this relationship with your customers so they continue to come back? And so we coach them through that process. And then we also set them up with a line of coaches that are out there. And then here's the cool part. This is different than every other organization out there. If you go to a pop-up in any location out there, the vendors stay to themselves and they stay behind their table. Not with our community. I said, look, if you're popping up in here, y'all gonna work together and we're gonna win together, and you guys are gonna learn from each other. And so they start sharing ideas, they start working together, they start collaborating and making sure that they're all set up. One person may make t-shirts, the other person may make tumblers. Now both of them have t-shirts and tumblers with their logo on it, in addition to their products and services that they sell. And so this is a business community. This is not you being in business by yourself. This is being in business where you have people that are going to be able to help you out. The other cool part of it is you may also need like a thing to take money. And so we set them up, we make sure that they're all working together to make sure that they have everything that they need to succeed.
And it sounds like, and I'm not going to say sounds like, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Your business is a business built off of definitely providing network. And it just makes me think of like, it's the family, this thing of ours,
Yes.
I love it. How important is networking to you? And then what does your network look like and how do you support your network?
So network to me is everything. Your network is your net worth. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a network, you're going to lose. And it's important that my network builds relationships with each other, because that's the only way that we're going to win. When you go out there in community, it's those people that speak about you that open doors for you. And so I want my team and my network to speak for each other. When you come to our networking event, we ask 2 questions. What do you need help with? And what can you help with? And then through that, now these people can help each other, and they be like, hey, I need help with finding a job. Okay, the organization that I work at is hiring people right now. Let me introduce you to the hiring manager. The other person may need access to an organization where they can give their coaching or whatever they need. Those doors can open for them. And so your network can open doors where the other people that don't know the people behind the scenes have to put in an application. Your application can go to the top when you have a great network.
So as a retired sergeant major, I know you learned a lot of lessons throughout your military career. What are probably the top 3 lessons that you've learned as a sergeant major that you've been able to apply as an entrepreneur?
So the first one is know what you don't know, and find people that can support you in those areas that where you don't know it, right?
That's good.
Because as a sergeant major, they expect you to know everything. And it's impossible to know everything, but you need to know where you can go or who you can go to find that answer. And so that's the number one thing that I had to realize is, okay, here's my gifts and my talents, and this is what I'm terrible at. And these are the things that I need to hire out or get somebody on my team to help me with. That's the first lesson that I learned. The second one is failing, right? I learned to fail fast and fail often. I can't tell you the number of times that I failed, but I learned at the same time that I failed. And so I had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and learning how to just go out there and make some things happen and dust myself off and get back up. And, through the military, we practice often and we fail often, and we just AAR it. For those of you that don't know what AAR means, it's after action review. We AAR everything here at Veterans Growing America to always make it better. And then the third thing is make sure that I check on my team.
That's good.
And I'm a people person, and so I can see, when a person's energy changes or they're different than they were before. And instead of, trying to guess what it is in my head, I pick up the phone and I call people or I check on them and be like, hey, you don't seem right. What's going on? And definitely just checking on my people. And my people don't necessarily have to, work for me. They could be my vendors. My vendors have become my family now. And when I don't hear from them or I don't see them, I give them a call and be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. Where do you need help?
Clutch. And I'm literally writing this down because I'm just, me, I'm on both sides. So it's crucial information. Let's talk about community. You have a community-based organization, and community is so important. How can someone become a part of this community? What do they need to do?
So the first thing that I ask people to do is just come for the first time and experience it, because there's nothing like it. And when I say come to the first time and experience it, is you got to come to the pop-up store and experience that, or to one of our events outside the store. In fact, we're doing a couple events this year that are outside of the store. So if we're in your area, we're going to Orlando, Florida in October. We're going to be at Fort Belvoir at the end of September. We're gonna be doing a lot more events outside of the store and in the store at the same time. And so I'll say first, come and experience Veterans Growing America for yourself. And then second, you could be a member of our organization by going to our website and clicking that join now. There is a fee to it, but trust me when I say this, that it's worth every penny that you spend on it, because you get to be a part of a community that will help you grow as a human being and as a business at the same time.
That's amazing. So, can you give the viewers the address to the store location? And then
Yes.
also the website for the
So the
community.
so the address is 15001 Potomac Town Place in Woodbridge, Virginia. It's called the Stonebridge at Potomac Town Place. And our website is veteransgrowingamerica.com. And you can find all of the information there. It's best to follow us on social media. We're Veterans Growing America on all platforms. That way you get to see exactly what's going on in real time. We try to post as much as possible so people can see who we have there and who's and what we're doing.
All right. So what advice would you have for veterans looking to start their own business?
So my first thing is find something that you're passionate about. And I mean, it could be as easy as watching TV. There's a business doing that. But find something that you're truly passionate about, because entrepreneurship, I'm just going to tell everybody right now, it's hard. It is not easy.
It's hard.
It is not easy. But at the same time, if it's something that you're passionate about, when those times get hard, you'll still power through it. And it takes, a couple of years, sometimes 10 years for you to make the type of money that you want to make uh, at your business. But be steadfast and work through it. But my number one thing is find something that you're passionate about, and you'll have that stick to it in order to make it there.
No, I agree. Like true entrepreneurs, I believe that whatever it is that they're growing initially started from a labor of love. If
Yep.
you love what it is that you do, it will grow monetarily. And it may not be 5 days, it may not be 5 weeks, it may not be 5 years. But if you love it and you have a passion for it, it'll definitely grow. Um, Before we go and get off of here, I want to tell everybody about my experience. I know you said, hey, uh, what was your experience? I want to tell everybody about my experience. So initially my wife went to a military event. She met you and Jay and a few other people. Was recommended to come down to the show. So we got some tickets. Not show, to an event. It's a networking event to come down. Before I even got in the door, it was a party, right? Like I mean, the most welcoming atmosphere I've experienced in a long time. And, being in the DC area, uh, it ain't hard to find something that'll warm your heart. But uh that experience in the storefront was definitely one of the best experiences I've had in a very long time. The people were friendly. I think more than friendly, the people when I walked in were family. It was just like everybody I met was like my long lost cousin. Even Mr. Seven, it was like my long lost cousin. You just
Right.
walk in and he's talking to me like he's known me for 15 years. Um, I met some amazing people. Uh, I've actually had one or two guests on my show that I met at the event. I still have, and mind you, uh, this has been a minute. It hasn't been that long, but it's been a minute. I would say at least a couple of months. And I still have people that I talk to there. I still chat with them very often. Weird as it is, and now I think about the people that I talk to often are the people that I met there, and I talk to them at least once a week, and we're friends, like not business associates, um, not anything beyond that. Also, uh, immaculate service throughout. I know you had your kids there supporting the business, and uh, some of the best future entrepreneurs. And I can't even say future because they are entrepreneurs, but some of the best budding human beings that I've ever met, wholeheartedly, brother. And I would highly recommend it. And everybody on the show knows, like, if Rob likes something, he likes it. If he don't, he'll call it what it is. But it was top tier experience, and I truly appreciate you guys for inviting us out. And I moved a little bit further north in Maryland, but for me, I will definitely take that 2-hour drive to get to you, brother.
I appreciate that. And thank you for um, talking about that. And my son, this is one of the items that he sells, but my son is a vendor in the store, and my wife is also a vendor in the store. And we strategically put them in the store because we want people to understand that you can be in business with your family at the same time. And it's not, they could just sit in the background and just watch me do the VGA piece. But my son was passionate about the crystals that he sells and his spiritual streetwear brand. And my wife is also passionate about travel, which she sells as well. And so we have 3 different stores: the Veterans Growing America, which is the family business, my son's store, which is Third Conscious, and my wife's store, which is Time to Luxury Lifestyle. And then in addition to that, my vendors bring their family with them to sell. And so these are future entrepreneurs that will be in business because they're able to see they one of the best sellers that I have is an 8-year-old girl named Kennedy. And she leads people into the store. She walks people over to her dad's artwork, and she helps sell his paintings. And she's 8 years old, right? Working in the store. She doesn't work in the store for, but she's there with her dad, and she supports. 8 years old. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
This is a family business.
Yeah, and that is definitely not only just the true spirit of Veterans Growing America, but it's literally Veterans Growing America, and I think that's amazing. And so my favorite question I ask all of my guests that comes on here, man, what was the largest purchase you ever made, and then how did it make you feel?
Wow. So the largest purchase that I ever made was a house, but outside of a house, the largest purchase that I ever made was coaching. Yeah, that's what I said too.
Tell me about it.
So I'm actually a part of a coaching program right now with E.T. the hip hop preacher.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And so everything that he stands for, in his organization, I was like, I got to be a part of this. And initially I was a part of Breathe University when it first started, and it was $20 a month. And then now the price is more than what you would spend on a car to be a part of this network.
Yeah.
And initially I was like, I'm not going to spend this much money, And then I thought about it. I was like, this dude is amazing. Look at all of the people that he's helped. In fact, his health coach is one of my commanders.
Wow.
That I served with when I was in the DC National Guard. And she's his health coach, and he helped her. And you can look this up. Look up Rochelle T. Parks. Her and I served together, and now she's the health coach to E.T. the hip hop preacher. But he's taking her from selling her vitamins at $7 a piece, and she's making probably more than her military check was per year a month.
Wow, that's insane. And that's amazing. That's insane, but that's transformative.
It is
powerful.
And so if you want to be a part of, if I want my vendors to take their business from a table to a store to their own building, I got to be able to invest in myself to make sure that I have access to resources and opportunities to be able to help my community. And so I invested in myself to help out my community.
Man, that's a blessing. And that's a blessing to be able to do that. And I really appreciate you for coming on, brother. I've been waiting for this for so long. You don't even know, man. I've been waiting. I think since the day we met, every 3 days, I'm like, hey, when can I get you on? Hey, let's line our calendars up and finally be able to have this conversation, man. Super stoked, super excited for your business. And again, definitely thank you for coming on.
It's absolutely a blessing. Thank you. I appreciate that. this is one of the funnest times that I had on a podcast. So first of all, thank you for having me and the warm welcome. And also thank your wife for introducing us.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And on the show, we say winners win, and we win when you win, and we want to thank you for being a winner.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here.
All right, thanks, brother. And we are out. Boom.
Thank you for joining the podcast. And remember, change your mind, change your money, change your life. We out.